Hey everyone, and welcome back to Dead Mall Walking. When I told people that I would be spending 1/3 of a recent trip to London in the viral backrooms liminal space hotel, they responded in a couple of different ways. Either, that's awesome, I'm so jealous, or, you really are a strange guy, you know that? Or, bonus third response, I understood about half of the words you just said. In other words, those who get it, and those who don't. But as we make our way through this frankly insane corridor, let's go back to the beginning. Opened in 2018, the Heathrow Terminal 4 Holiday Inn Express and Crowne Plaza first entered the public consciousness when Twitter user Dominic Johann posted this image on what we're now supposed to call X. Since then, that image has been liked more than 30,000 times and retweeted by more than 5,000 people. The hotel's interior briefly appears in Kane Pixel's seminal Backrooms found footage video, which has been viewed more than 66 million times on YouTube. A post of this place at Christmas with the title, "I am literally staying in the liminal hotel," is currently the 34th all-time top post on Reddit's Liminal Spaces subreddit. Okay, I'm officially rambling, but you get it. Even people who don't think they know what this place is have probably seen it in some liminal backrooms compilation or another. It even appeared alongside a bunch of other classic backrooms and liminal spaces in Porn's Fortnite Island, Apeirophobia 2, which has had hundreds of thousands of players. It also meant that a couple of days after staying in this hotel, I was able to come home and run around it dressed as Sabrina Carpenter. That's that me espresso, I guess. And if this digital recreation of the hotel seems strange, rest assured that the real thing doesn't feel any more normal. The lobby feels like a cathedral, with weird layered levels and staircases, and huge empty spaces that feel like they were designed to host something. Oh, and fun fact, Sir Cliff Richard was for some reason at the hotel's groundbreaking. I had a little fun with my intro, muting some sounds and making sure not to capture any people, but this place is a bit different to a lot of other backrooms locations. It's not abandoned or deserted or shabby, and outside of a few isolated images, you don't really feel like you're about to be chased by a smiler or some other entity like in one of those backrooms videos. There will be no shaky camera work or breathless Blair Witch monologues in this video. Sorry to disappoint. What's really strange about this place is that it constantly feels both alive and dead. I checked in around 10 PM, then went out to film at around midnight, and there were still tons of people milling around. When I went downstairs at 5 AM the next morning, there was, unbelievably, about the same number of people around. Could have been the same ones pulling an all-nighter, I guess, but I didn't stop to ask. But somehow, despite all that, this place feels empty even when it's not. While researching the hotel, I found an interesting comment from someone claiming to be a project manager who worked on this place. They've since deleted their account, so I couldn't follow up, but everything they said about its construction seemed to ring true. They describe how the bizarre shape of the hotel came from the existing car park and the spaghetti junction of existing services that ran directly underneath it, all of which had to be rerouted around the footprint of the building while minimising any disruption to airport services. And how, quote, there were several notable design failures which led to this liminal space. They explain how recessed track lighting was deemed a hazard for future maintenance, how uplighters between all the windows highlighted plastering defects, and how the use of mirrored reflectors and projector lights caused too much glare in the central atrium. There are 2 tiles in the ceiling that are slightly off, and they still bother me to this day. Ultimately, they said, there were so many plans, but in the end, the project was massively over budget, and we were financially out of options. Despite how every image and rendering of this place makes it look, it does actually have skylights that let natural light in. Not much, but some. The artificial lights are always on, and I mean always. Like in Las Vegas casinos, it's one never-ending day at the Heathrow Terminal 4 Holiday Inn Express and Crowne Plaza. What a mouthful. It feels like it was built to suggest daylight, without ever actually needing it. And then there's the architecture itself. It sort of feels like this building has been flipped inside out. If you're in one of the rooms looking over the courtyard, is that what we're calling that green area? You're also looking out directly at other guests' windows. It's very voyeuristic, and you feel strange looking up because you will see inside other people's rooms. Between that and me skulking around with a camera after midnight, it's frankly a miracle I didn't have security called on me. There, I'm guessing, is one of those broken tiles that project manager on Reddit mentioned. I figured I couldn't make this video without a quick look inside my room. A little nicer than its recreation in the Backrooms game I showed earlier, although the pillows are the same colour. A nice touch by the developers. Unfortunately, the view out of my room was a weird windowless airport building rather than the weird internal courtyard, which made me very sad. I would have asked to switch rooms had I not been afraid of looking like an absolute freak. Well, any more of an absolute freak anyway. Other than that, it pretty much looks like any other Holiday Inn Express room you've ever stayed in. Really unappealing shadowy lighting though. Faced with an 8 AM flight and a 6 AM check-in, which meant a 5 AM wake-up call, I figured this was a good opportunity to check this place out. And the brevity of my stay, I was in the hotel for a grand total of about 6 hours before getting back on the road, felt kind of fitting actually. I guess it makes sense that this place feels so backroomsy and liminal, because airports in general often have that vibe. They're either the busiest, sweatiest places on Earth, or so deserted that they make you feel like you've taken a wrong turn somewhere and are about to walk out onto the tarmac. Case in point, this weird purple tunnel under Heathrow that stretches on for about a mile. The internet has collectively drifted towards a mindset of, this place is empty, does that make it liminal? But if we shake that off and go back to the original definition of liminality, occupying a position at or on both sides of a boundary or threshold, airports, and yes, airport hotels too, are about as close to that idea as it's possible to get. I never saw this place in daylight, but then again I wonder if anyone has seen this place in daylight. And while I wouldn't necessarily recommend going out of your way to stay here, if you happen to have an early flight from Heathrow, it's a neat little badge of honour to be able to say that you spent a night in the backrooms. If you make it to morning, that is. Because, like Hotel California, you can check out, but you never really leave. Thanks so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe and share so the YouTube algorithm will give me a boost. My Instagram and some other ways to support what I do are linked below. Until next time, goodbye from the Backrooms. Or, the Heathrow Terminal 4 Holiday Inn Express.